Hi. I had a coaching call today and I cried. I was actually in Club Cafe attending that coaching call in the morning after gym and I cried. I had tears all over. I'm not even sure who all were there witnessing me because I was on the Zoom call. But I cried. And my coach obviously knows that I do. I have multiple coaches. I am in multiple coaching calls every week, and I cry in most of them. And it's actually a good sign. I have started to see how it's a good sign because every time I cry, it's because there is something deep within me, that some story I've been telling myself, something I've been suppressing inside, that's now ready to heal and ready to come out. And when it comes out, it's almost like me witnessing that part of me that has been there, me connecting with it, me seeing it in such a clear way, loving it, and then sort of letting it go, like bidding a goodbye to that part. And that's where the tears come from. So it's always a healing experience because the part of me that is no longer serving me and is ready to go, it's a goodbye to that part. And that's why I love it now. I used to be very awkward and embarrassed. I mean, this coaching call was a group coaching call. I think there were some like 200 people on the call from across the world. And there were in that group there are like 1,500 people, if not 2,000. So which means those many people are gonna watch the replay, and I don't even know in future how many people are gonna buy that course and watch the replay, right? But it didn't matter, and that is the biggest satisfaction that I have, that I have become this person who's willing to cry in front of all those people and not make it mean that there is something wrong with me. I can accept that it's actually beautiful. And not just me, I wanted to share a story of my client. So she joined the program about three and a half months back, and one of the things she said she wanted to change about herself was that she cries a lot. Even in work situations, when something happens, she cries, and then she feels very awkward, and that's something she wants to change. And as we explored, as we went deeper, what I realized when we actually started probing it, every time when I was coaching her, she would cry. And she would try to suppress that. And I'm like, nope, this is good out then in. Let it out. And then as we witnessed that part of her, and I held space for her in that, then we realized, like she said, you know what, I cry when I'm very happy. When there is a deeper part within me that's sort of getting released, and I can see that, like I have release something that was, and gain something that's important to me. I'll tell you a specific example. So every time, the first question that I ask my clients when they come for sessions is, what are we celebrating? So the idea is to really give them space to focus on what has changed within them, so we can celebrate it together and amplify and create momentum of it. And every time when I would ask that question, the starting question, she would say, I spent more time with the kid, and I did this certification or whatever that is, and she would start crying. So it was very evident after a point that she's crying because she has not been able to do those things for a long time, and she's now finally doing it. And isn't that beautiful? Like, it's so beautiful, right? So I just wanted to share this to give you an invitation that if you are someone who's suppressing tears, thinking it makes you awkward, thinking it's not a good thing, that's not true. That's a story you're telling yourself, and maybe other people around you are reinforcing because they don't know it either. But it's beautiful. These are human emotions. We cry when we're sad, we cry when we're happy, we cry when we're angry. Or we could have different ways of handling each of the emotion, but whatever way that you're handling your emotion is perfect. You don't have to try to change it. You don't have to, be better at it. The only thing, frankly, you need is to witness that part of you and give it space to be. Like, make it okay to be. And when you do that for yourself, that's when you're going to be able to hold space for others around you, like your kids. Like I shared a video on my Insta profile today as a story where there's a kid who's like understanding all these things of how the emotions are just emotions. They come when somehow something happens, we don't have what we want, and then we release them, and then we're okay. Like we get mad, we get upset, and then we're okay. There's a little kid sharing so much wisdom. I cried even looking at that, right? So I just wanted to share with you that let the tears out. They're better out than in, and they're all beautiful. This is the beautiful part of human experience, not all the shallow things at the surface level that we go after. It's this experience that we're here for. And when you suppress that emotion, when you suppress that experience, when you don't make it okay for you to have that, you are diluting your satisfaction of this human experience, my friend, which is not necessary. And when you release it, you're gonna feel this sense of freedom and this sense of acceptance that's gonna release a lot for you. So this is your permission to cry as much as you want, let the tears out, and not suppress those emotions. They're out better than in. Have a beautiful day.